Welcome to the Joy of Cruising podcast with your host, award-winning author Paul C. Thornton, a weekly conversation with the amazing cruisers featured in the Joy of Cruising Trilogy, comprised of The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again. Each book is a compilation of features about cruisers and cruise and travel personalities from around the world. It's the next best thing to cruising, hearing about cruising from the unique and diverse perspectives of Paul's amazing guests.
Hello, passionate cruisers. This is Paul, and this week on the Joy of Cruising podcast, I am delighted to welcome Stanley and Lynette, Lynette the Queen, creator of popular and growing LifeWithUsTv YouTube channel, Instagram platform, and Facebook group. LifeWithUsTv is the 17th most watched YouTube cruise channel in the world with 100,000 subscribers. Please spot list Stanley and Lynette as number 11 on their list of the world's top 90 cruise influencers. Lynette is also a travel agent. Passionate cruisers like Stanley and Lynette epitomize the joy of cruising. They are so passionate about cruising that they want to share it with the world. Stanley and Lynette have an extensive cruising background and are knowledgeable cruising advisors, and they exude fun in all their videos and photos. It is my pleasure to chat with Stanley and Lynette and to share their story with the listeners of the Joy of Cruising podcast. Welcome, Stanley and Lynette, to the Joy of Cruising podcast.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Indeed, we are.
So how you both doing?
Wonderful.
Doing real good,
It's cold here in Virginia, but
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
How about you? How you doing?
Okay, cold here is we're almost neighbors. I'm in North Carolina. Tell our listeners about yourselves. Where you're each from, how did you meet, where you live? Well, we just kind of talked about that. Professional background, anything you would like to share.
Okay.
All right.
Well, people are shocked to realize that we are in our 40s. I'm like, well, we must look good for our age. But I am 45. I am Virginia born and raised. I've been here my entire life. Not in Richmond my entire life. I'm from Tappahannock area, which they say is the Tidewater area. Stanley and I actually met by way of some meddling friends on both of our ends, seeing us individually and thought that we would be the perfect couple. And they staged a way for us to meet via a vow renewal. And I guess from there it worked because the rest is history. We've been together for darn near 25 years.
Yep.
And
that sounds romantic, almost kind of like a blind date.
Right.
And the day that the day that I was proposed to, we weren't technically dating.
Nah, we was best friends.
Like we morphed into just being best friends with each other. And so imagine going around your family with this ring and saying, hey, I'm getting married. And they were like, did we miss a step? And I'm like, yeah, it kind of did work out like that. But professional background is I started out in banking and brokerage at an early age, like straight from college, and morphed into the brokerage industry naturally from starting in banking. So my career revolved around me doing quality control, which basically means I have an eye for errors, documenting them and telling you how to fix them.
Right.
Literally what my genius is finding errors, figuring it out, making you fix it.
Yep. So how about you, Stanley?
I'm Stanley, of course. I'm 44. Far as professional career, I used to trade on the New York Stock Exchange. I did that for about 10 years or more. I'm from a small town called Kilmarnock, Virginia. And most time when I mention that, people are like, who? But I'll say it's outside of Tappahannock. They be like, oh, okay, we know where Tappahannock is.
Okay. So when and what motivated you all to create Life Is Us TV? And how's it going?
Okay. So what motivated me was I am, and I still am, I am a YouTube watcher. I am one that I just love to see normal people living normal lives. You know, we all have fell into this era now where everything is like reality, but it's not reality TV. But I really wanted to watch people's real lives and how do you move? Because I consider myself a pretty normal person, modest living. I
Right.
wanted to see the same. But I started to notice that when I got into like couples vlogs and things like that, no one looked like us.
Right.
There was either, you know, one party, 50% that I could resonate with, and then their partner was the total opposite. And my husband, he's always like, whatever is not there, then you create it.
Right.
So he looked at me, he was like, why don't we start a channel and be what you don't find on social media? And I'm like, no, our lives are not interesting. And that was back then where we started out doing the vlogging, lifestyle
vlog.
channel. So that's how we started, just by me not seeing representation, and was like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
So at that time, it wasn't necessarily cruising, correct?
No.
It was just us recording our everyday
Day-to-day
life.
lives.
Yeah.
Like taking you on a journey of our lives.
So did it have the name it has now, Life is Us TV?
Yep.
The name
Yep.
has not changed.
Yep. Same
So
name.
we morphed into this cruise channel it's going on about 3 years now.
About 3 years.
About 3
Yeah.
years now.
So let's see, would that have been before or after the cruise shut down?
After.
So like along our YouTube journey, we did record a few like cruise vlogs because we actually
That was part of our lifestyle.
Yeah. So like in 2019, that was like our first cruise vlog to really hit the internet.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't until 2022 that we went full into the cruising space.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us an overview of your various platforms. I know that you're very big on YouTube. Then I guess you have an IG platform, and I know you have a Facebook platform because I joined you guys not too long ago.
And you did. I saw when you did it. So the various platforms we have, of course, like you said, is YouTube, which is pretty much the bread and butter. And then we have our Instagram. And I just consider the Instagram like, I call it like the extension of our YouTube, where we can get a little bit more personable, because when you're on YouTube and you have a channel of this size, you gotta have to be careful of what you put on it, because everybody doesn't want to see everything. Like when you get into a niche like this, most people don't want to know about your lifestyle or feel your quirky side. So that's what I pretty much demonstrate over there on Instagram. The jokes, the good mornings, the happy birthdays, the funny stuff you see on Instagram that you send to your people in your text message. Sometimes I'll share stuff like that on Instagram, just to involve our community a little bit more, because we don't have that lifestyle part of us on YouTube anymore. And then, of course, you have your various things like TikToks, which I need to get better at.
Yeah,
because that.
So you do have a TikTok account.
I do.
Yeah,
but don't go look right now.
We don't post.
Oh, I was getting ready to race over there to see if I see any funny dances.
Much over there.
Yeah,
but we said we want to get better at it this year.
Yes, I definitely want to get better
over there. And kind of like duplicating what we got on YouTube over there.
Yeah. So then the Facebook groups are just an extension, like we said, of our cruise community, where, of course, what we do is most Thursdays, we go live and just answer questions to our audience. But for those people that do not catch that, then I want to have a landing place that they can come and feel comfortable to ask their questions, share their cruise experiences, share pictures. So that's what our cruise community on Facebook is really utilized for.
So let's focus specifically on cruising. What have you cruised? What's your most recent cruise?
Virgin Voyages.
Yes, we did a New Year's.
We did a New Year's cruise.
Which ship?
Scarlet Lady.
Scarlet Lady. So tell me all about it, because I'm going on Scarlet Lady in several. No, it's not. No, it's not until April. I'm being a little too optimistic. So I was going to say in several weeks. Let me just say a couple of months.
Okay. Well, you know it'll be here before you know it, so it literally feels like a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Oh, it was an amazing cruise. Like, we are hooked to the point that we are considering taking a New Year's cruise every single year. It was an amazing way to bring the New Year's in. But as far as Virgin, excellent choice.
Mm-hmm.
The most part that we love about Virgin, that there's no kids. The food is delicious.
Yes.
And the entertainment is great. So it's going to definitely be some stuff on there for you to do. I'm not sure if you're going by yourself or you.
No. My wife and I go. We are. I might have mentioned we're going on Virgin. I'm not sure if I said we're going on Scarlet Lady. So
okay.
Oh, okay.
Scarlet is the best ship for me. I mean, they all are basically an extension of
all the rest of them are replicas of Scarlet.
All of the Virgin ships.
Yeah,
they just replicas of Scarlet. Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about Virgin Voyages. I have never read a bad review. I might have read like somebody would have a comment or something, but just a plain old bad review, never.
Right.
In fact, I participate on a lot of various cruise groups on Facebook and all that, and I always, when I see a question about your favorite ship, I always point out my favorite ship right now is Celebrity Beyond. But then I always followed up by saying Celebrity Beyond right now. But what I'm hearing, that may change soon.
But we've been on Virgin probably about 6 times now.
8 times.
8
times.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they probably know you.
They
pretty
do.
much. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know if that's a good I don't know if that's a good reputation to have or not.
Now, speaking of knowing you, are you guys recognized on ships in general?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. At first, it was, whoa, they know me. Wow. And then imagine having your whole family with you, and, they know that you do this thing called YouTube. They're not engulfed in it. They don't really support it. And then they're looking at you like, how do these people know you again? And I'm like, that camera, that little YouTube thing, because they like to put little on your, before things when they try to minimize what you do. That little YouTube channel that you have, that's how they know me. That's how all of these people are calling our name and being appreciative for what we do.
Yeah, because at first we got majority of our recognition on Carnival. So when we took our first Virgin trip, and people was like, I know you. And so I was like,
you know me on here?
Because that was when we wasn't even doing Virgin content at the time. So it was like when we first went on Virgin, people was recognizing us just like Carnival.
Yes.
And we was like, how did that happen?
And now it's extended to like airports and people meeting.
Grocery stores.
Yeah, people getting in shuttles, going to other cruise lines, hollering out the window, you helped me go on Celebrity. And I'm like, I've never did celebrity content. Like, we watch you, and basically your content and what you teach goes across the board. And I say, yeah, I do know that.
So when you get recognized next time and you with your family, they're calling it little YouTube, you say, hey fam, we're celebrities.
Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are.
Because then I have to live up to that height.
No, y'all are celebrities.
We well known.
With the old salsa, we may be internationally known where we might rock a microphone.
So the New Year's cruise, was that your first New Year's cruise?
Yes.
First one. Yep.
Yeah. Look, listen, we tell everybody we finally have gotten our lives together where we can afford a New Year's sailing.
Right.
Yeah, because I know they hiked the prices up.
Oh
Woo!
yeah, they like 3-4 times higher.
We've been on while you were cruising. Well, not while you were cruising. The week before you were cruising for New Year's, we were on a cruise for Christmas. So we've been on. That was our third Christmas cruise. I love Christmas cruises, but I've never done a New Year's Eve. Never brought in a New Year on a cruise. So that's somewhere on my bucket list.
Yes, it was so
nice. And then last year we did Thanksgiving cruise as well. That was our first Thanksgiving cruise, and that was awesome.
What was that on?
We was on was it MSC?
It was MSC Seascape, and we joined in and just went with Melanin at Sea.
Yeah,
we said we want to find something different, and we love to support the cruise community, so we joined in on their group cruise, paid our money, and just sat back and enjoyed the festivities.
Yeah,
we did. We had a great time with the group.
Yeah, we ain't had the normal turkey, macaroni and cheese, and stuff like we used to. We had cruise food, but it was such a great experience to do something different for Thanksgiving. And then to be around the cruise family, it was amazing.
It was.
Our Christmas cruise was MSC. It was Meraviglia. How was what'd you say, the Seascape?
Seascape.
Yeah.
Seascape.
How'd you like that?
I'm brutally honest. So it is a one and done for us. The ship is beautiful.
Oh,
when I say it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
But our experience was not great.
Won't breathtaking.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when you say you were one and done. I did we went on for Christmas, but then I did a podcast about the cruise. It was just sort of reflections on the cruise, and I said I tried to be balanced but but honest and
right.
And I, so I said in a lot of ways, my closing statement was in a lot of ways, MSC is on par with, Carnival and Royal. I said, but in one way, for a lot of Royal and Carnival and other cruise line folks I've spoken to, it's a one and done. And so I use those same exact words. And I said, the biggest reason I think it's a one and done. I don't know if Seascape has the same issue, but on Meraviglia, the only complimentary food options were the buffet and the main dining room. And until they get that right, they are always going to be, well, not always, but for a lot of experienced cruisers like yourself, they're going to be one and done. Because if you're used to having guys and what's the place that has the
Blue Iguana, or some kind of quickie,
and on Royal, you got Park Cafe and Cafe 27, and that is always going to hurt them until they get that right. And the other consequence of that is it makes their buffet like a madhouse because there's no place else to go.
Right. And it's the same food every single day. We got tired of eating burgers, fries, and pizza.
Yes. Yeah. And then it got to a point where we just didn't want that. And then we started paying $7.99 for the room service. But guess what room service was?
The same.
Ham sandwich.
Oh, okay.
It was a delicious ham sandwich, but yeah, I want more than I ain't going to cruise to eat the ham sandwich.
I said I have never been so grateful to eat a $8 ham sandwich in my life.
and then the food shuts down so early, so it's like around 10:30. So you out having fun to be like, oh shoot, we need to run to the buffet. We only got 10 minutes before it closed, and you run and try to get food.
Now I will say to Meraviglia's credit, the buffet didn't close early. So
really,
we ended the night every night there. Now I'm not gonna lie, I fell in love with the pizza. I mean, I could have turned into a pizza, but every night we would go to the buffet and get pizza and beer. It was just a tradition. So I never did get tired of the pizza, but I did get tired of some of the other food. So what else? We talked about a little bit about version. We talked a little bit about Merveille. What else have you going on recently?
We did roll.
Yeah,
roll at
we
the end
did
of the
our
year.
very first
First
Royal
on the
Caribbean on Allure of
Allure
the
of the
Seas, and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
We
We
did.
didn't know if we would, just because
what we get on YouTube
Yeah.
from the lower to roll.
yeah, because the Royal
people-
Caribbean community are
Man.
very loyal to their brand, and for
Yeah.
some strange reason, we became the targeted punching bag for a lot of the loyal to Royals when it came to our channel. And I guess because we teach carnival content, and they think the carnival is the lesser of.
That's the welfare of the sea.
Yeah, so we got a lot of like black eyes, virtual black eyes, when these people don't know us from a can of paint. So we didn't know if that same energy was
Would
going to
translate
translate
on
on
cruise.
board. And it was totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different. Like the royal community welcomed us with open arms.
Yeah, they did.
Strangers started looking for us every night.
Yeah.
Where were you all day? I've been looking for you. And I'm like, you're looking for me?
It won't because they recognize us on YouTube.
No, it was a genuine connection.
It was genuine.
So let's go back to the pandemic. I don't like to talk about the pandemic too much,
Right.
but I know the situation was or the shutdown was tough on you guys as much as you like to cruise. How'd you spend your time?
So for me, I had a major scheduled surgery that happened right at the nose of the pandemic.
Yep.
I went into surgery and my surgeon said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see you on your follow-up because it's a thing out called COVID-19 and we don't know much about it. I'm trying to keep you safe. As long as you're doing okay, I want you to stay in your house. That's how we began to deal with it. So I had 8 weeks of recovery, but also being afraid because I just had this major surgery that I can't even physically go see my doctor unless it's an emergency because he was trying to keep me safe because he's like, I deal in the hospitals.
Right.
That's where it's running rampant. I don't want you here.
Right.
So for me, it was more of a reflection, get yourself together, heal. And then I said, you know what? I'm in this bed 90% of my day. I've always dibbled and dabbled in wanting to become a travel agent because I've always did the cruise planning, travel planning, resort planning for my family, friends, or whoever would just didn't want to do it. I would do it because I loved it. And I got my credentials in my bed to become a travel agent while on
There
bed
you
rest.
go.
Yep.
There you go. That's how you utilize idle time, folks.
Come on now.
Yep. Better yourself.
Yep.
Better yourself. I ain't had
Yep.
nothing but time on my hands.
So Stanley, what did you do during the pandemic?
Kind of similar. I use that time to really hone in on my YouTube skills because I've always, ever since I've got on YouTube, has been infatuated of how it works, how people get results and stuff like that, and seeing people's lives change. So like during the pandemic, I went head in long, like I'm gonna figure this thing out, to know how to do this thing, to get results, because I want to be able to help other people do it too. So that was like my main pandemic. And then I know you probably get ready to swing 2021 when we still was in the pandemic. That's when we both lost our job at the same time.
Wow.
So she got her travel agent license, whatever you call it. And I had finally figured out YouTube. And that's when we was like, yeah, we need to grab this bull by the horns and go full into this right here, because neither one of us wanted to go back to corporate America. Matter of fact,
we're
we
burned
didn't
out.
want to be there while we was there. We was done.
Yeah.
We was done.
I can relate. Been there, done that.
And the only thing that kept us in there as long as we did, because of course,
Benefits and
the benefits, and then we're in the pandemic, so everybody's starting to work from home now.
Yeah.
So working from home kind of was like, okay,
kind of ease it up
we
a
can
little bit.
stay in the rat race a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, okay, I got these credentials to become a travel agent. Nobody's traveling, so
Right.
we had planned to transition me out, and he would stay in corporate America, hold down the fort until I did what I did and got up and running and, got the ball rolling. And God said no.
So both of y'all
at the same time. So what happened was I got my notice while on vacation on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
That same vacation, we were going to a resort pass while we were waiting for our later flight that night. He gets a phone call from his boss that says, "You no longer have to clock in. Thank you for your service." Da 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 da.
Mail us back our laptop.
So we laugh and say that he's been on the longest vacation
ever. Yeah, I've been on vacation since 2021.
Well, you all are to be applauded for making a great use of your time away. Your timing was perfect. So
yeah,
perfect.
what was your first cruise back after the pandemic?
It was for my birthday, and I did not want to go because I was in that in between. You know how some people in the pandemic, I'm just going to go out and live my life. That was not me. I was still terribly afraid of contracting this thing. So I booked it. And this is when Carnival was a whole lot more relaxed with the cancellation policy.
Yeah.
So I booked it and I got cold feet and I canceled it. And my cousin said, "Oh no, we are going on this trip. We've been in the house way too long. We're going to put our mask on and we just going to fly to Miami and we're going to go and celebrate your birthday." And that's how we kind of just said, we just, broke through and kind of just got out of that fear because we had it bad.
Yeah.
Like we didn't allow people to come to our house. We didn't go to people's homes.
When we started wiping our food down with those bleach wipes, I knew I'm putting bleach wipes on my food.
Wiping the food down and then you got to rinse it off and then let it dry. And, oh my God.
Well, I'm so glad that those days are largely behind us.
Yes, thank God.
So, I was in Florida at the time, and Florida, the governor prided himself on having these very loose restrictions that helped to drive us away. Plus being there, you couldn't, I didn't want to get on a plane because I didn't want to sit around a bunch of people that, I knew there's probably COVID on that plane. So we just moved. That's when we moved to North Carolina. Because my family's all up north, and at least now we can drive and go see them.
That's
Whereas, in Florida, the only way we could see them was to get on a flight, and I didn't want to get on anybody's flight. So so let's go back to the beginning. Talk about each of your first cruises, and what were your initial impressions?
All right. So our first cruise was out of Norfolk, Virginia, which is our home port, on the Carnival Glory. And that was in the year of 2008.
I think it was
2008. And it was the worst experience.
Wow.
To date.
Yeah.
Like we have a story time on our YouTube channel about it. But we will say this. It had nothing to do with the cruise. It had nothing to do with the ship. It was us being ill-prepared.
Yeah.
Not knowing what we were getting into because at that point, we had did all land-based things. And to switch and do something as big and different as cruising, Man, we
just
fumbled
paid
the
paid and
ball.
went.
So give me a couple of examples. How was it so bad?
So firstly, our home port in Norfolk, and I will say, thank God they've gotten better with this, but because
Way
cruising
better.
only lasts here maybe 4 or 5 months
Yeah, just
out of the year, so it's a seasonal thing for our home port. So they really never have had a real flow. So firstly, it took us darn near probably 3 to 4 hours to even get on the ship.
Oh my goodness.
We called it the holding tank. You
Yeah.
got in and you were just in the building, standing
wait.
or sitting on the floor waiting to get on the ship because there was just no organization, no flow. So we get on the ship and then a storm breaks out from nowhere.
Yep, right doing sail away.
The same people that you were sitting on the floor or crunched against the wall with, you are now running, trying to get somewhere dry because everybody's on the Lido at this point, waiting for this infamous sail away that, we've heard of. So that was a bummer. And then you have to go through that daggone muster drill where it used to be at the actual station, whether it was outside on the outer decks, and I was on the outer deck in like May.
Yeah,
so it was hot.
It was hot. Did you have to put on the life vest?
Yeah, we had to put on the life vest, had to bring the life vest with us first, had to bring, and then stand there, and we're like falling in sweat. Because everything was so chaotic, I don't think we had dining room service until maybe like 10 o'clock that night.
It was late.
Oh, wow.
It was late.
When I tell you, everything started off so wrong for this cruise. And like I said,
did the cruise get better?
Not really.
Not enough. For everybody else, it probably did. But I think when it really went left for us when we went to Nassau.
Yes.
And so being new, ain't researching nothing. So
our first time out of the country.
So we was talking to our pharmacist right up the street, and him and his wife had just came from Nassau not too long ago. And he was like, yeah, y'all go to Nassau. And you know what? Don't even worry about no excursion. Don't even pay for no excursion because they have a free beach in Nassau, Bahamas. We was like, bet. We ain't got no money to pay for no excursion anyway. So we going to the free beach.
He said, go and get you a ticket to get on the like $3 ferry or something like that.
But to make a long story short, there was no free beach. So we end up getting on a ferry that we paid $3 for, that we say that had church pews on it.
And we're not exaggerating.
They had church pews on it. We got ministered to all the way to the other side to get to
get out.
What's the
it's a little like area right by Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis. I said, yeah. So it took us from the port over to Atlantis. And so they basically ministered to us about the island. When we got to the other side of the island,
and how they don't get paid.
Yeah,
and how we need
about how you don't get paid, that you need to tip. So by this time, everybody that was on a boat, they were showing their fear. So everybody was giving them money. Giving them money. So as soon as we stepped off the ferry, then here come the drug dealers. And you want some crack cocaine? You want some coke? You want some marijuana? I got what you need right here. We're like,
oh yeah,
no, we good. Walked a little bit further. Hey, come over here. We got fresh Bahama Mamas over here. They had yellow jacks, flies, gnats, flying all around. It was like, nah, we good. Walked a little bit further. Hey, this necklace and this ring, this good. Putting stuff on you and stuff.
I was like,
so
what is happening?
You know how aggressive they are in Nassau. So being the first there, that aggression was like, so when we finally was like, we get to this free beach, we're going to be good. So we finally met up with the security guard. We was like, we're trying to find the free beach. And he was looking puzzled. He was like,
there's no free beach, man.
There's no free beach. I was like, you kidding me, right?
He said, no.
You kidding me, right?
He said, not over here, man. There's no free beaches over here. You have to pay. I was like, I didn't know if he was joking or it was a hustle. Either way, it was enough to turn us off where we were like, you know what? We just walked in circles because we didn't also know that you could get back on the ship.
Go back to the ship. We didn't know that you could go back
early.
The ship early. So we stayed in Atlantis for 8 hours doing nothing. because we had no money. So we just walking around, going into museums, looking at the water through
All
the
the free
window,
stuff.
all the free stuff looking, but you can look out the window and see the water, but you couldn't go out there to the water unless you paid.
So I suspect that on that first cruise, you didn't get hooked.
No, not at all.
No, we was like, we won't ever do it again.
I said, I will never.
Never do a cruise again.
Yep. So
what made you try again?
My aunt.
His aunt, and here it is. I'm the person in my family that everybody turns to when they're afraid to do something. They know that that's like my motivation to get everybody, because I'm one of those people. I don't like excuses.
Mm-hmm.
If you say you're afraid of something, we're going to find a way to break that fear. Like, we're going to do it. So his family hasn't traveled. My family doesn't do a lot of traveling either, but they do get out and do things. Like, his family didn't do things. And they were like, if you put together this cruise, we'll go. And I'm like, nah. Or I'll put it together and I'll send y'all, but I'm not. Like, that's not my thing. And because I love all-inclusive resorts, like that had become my thing.
Right.
But I was like, no. And they were like, come on, Lynette, you have to go with us. Like, and I love his aunt so much that I was like, I will do it for you.
We took one for the team.
I'm going to take one on the chin. I'm going to go on this cruise, kicking and screaming like a toddler, but don't ask me to do it again.
No more. This is the one and done. Like, it's one and done again.
And we did that group cruise.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? It's not them. It was me.
We had one of the best times ever on vacation.
Oh my God.
Now, what ship was this on?
That was the Sunrise.
Sunrise. They had just converted it from the Triumph.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And matter of fact, our sailing was the first one where it was named the Sunrise. After they changed the name. And we got on there, and what it did for our family was just magical, because it was the first time of us being married as long as we are. Our families know each other, but they've never been merged together, like vacationing together, really being with each other for extensive amounts of time. And to be with the blended family for 5 days, it was insanity.
Yeah, it was.
How many of it were y'all?
It was about 30 of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it happened organically.
It started off with just what I say, his aunt, her kids, his mom.
Yeah, it's supposed to have been like maybe 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah, and then it morphed.
And it just morphed into that. People found out about it. Oh, we want to go.
Oh, we going. And I was like, oh, wow. And then while
now had y'all learned by now that when the ship docks, you can get back on?
Yeah, we do it. Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew then. I didn't have to walk around for 8 hours. I knew.
Right.
and then on this sailing, because of course, you have to have the matching family shirts on embarkation day or whatnot. Mm-hmm. And this lady walks up to me and she was like, who's leading this group? And I said, it's me. And she was like, oh, how long have you been a travel agent? And I said, I'm not. And she said, wait, you did this group? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you're not a travel agent? I said, no, ma'am. I said, I just like to do it. She said, oh, so let me tell you something. If you ever want to take this seriously, here's my card. Call me.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'll mentor you into doing this, because she said, guess what? You just did it and you didn't get a dime. And she said, and I promise you, they probably ain't gave you a thank you card, have they? And I said, no, ma'am. She said, let's go ahead and get paid for this pain.
Yep.
And that was how I initially got introduced to, I can do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she did. She walked me through all the steps of how to do it. Yep.
Are you still in touch with her?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yesterday, y'all just talked yesterday.
Yes.
Well, that's a great story.
Yeah. So now we call it the mentor and the mentee, and she calls me asking me for
advice
and information. Now Stanley said, "This is so funny."
Yeah, because y'all are all that on social media, so she has to know that you really flourish in the roles she turned you on to.
Yeah, she's very proud. And she goes on our groups with us. She travels with us, and she just sits back and she was like, Grasshopper, I am just so proud of you. And I said, it's because of you.
Yeah.
Yep,
You the one that introduced it, because you had. Oh, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, I would say on that second cruise, you got hooked.
Yes.
Or not hooked, but
it was like we could do this.
We can do that.
We can do our resorts, and we can do cruises.
And we can do cruises.
So we can diversify our travel portfolio now.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you still do land travel?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's something that I kind of struggle with. I was like you, I was into all-inclusives, and I didn't think anything could break me away from that.
Right.
And then we did our first cruise. I'm one of those that got hooked immediately.
Okay.
And, now you can't even talk to me about a land trip. Although I think I got to come up with something nice, because my wife says to me sometimes, do we have to cruise all the time?
Yeah, that's your little nudge from the wifey,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I want to do something else.
Yeah. So I'm trying to come up with something. I'm not going to slow down cruising, but
I know that's right.
I'm trying to come up with something really special, for a land trip.
Okay.
I think about Dubai. I think about
that's it right there, Dubai. You talking my language now.
Yeah, I want to do something in Africa. I've been to. I'll probably never go on a land trip again to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica on land trips probably 10 times, because that's where sort of the all-inclusive really took hold,
Yeah. The Jamaica was our first hook one. Yeah.
So what was the first cruise? So what was so now you've done two. One was kind of horrible. One was really nice. What was the cruise that you went on that says, I'm a cruiseaholic, or maybe you're not a cruiseaholic? I mean, what was the cruise that really hooked you?
So the way I will say this is, before we went on Virgin Voyages, we always said we do cruising to do it with our family.
Right.
So cruising was that thing that you can get your family on a cruise.
Oh, yeah.
We can't always get them on a plane and go through a resort or nothing like that. So we mostly did that for them. And once our YouTube started to grow, people were like, y'all need to do group trips. So we started doing groups on cruises because it's convenient, it works, and a lot of people love cruising.
Right.
It wasn't until we got on Virgin Voyages that I was like,
I'm hooked now.
It's something to this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been a person that said I can do a back-to-back or even a 7-day. I can easily do a 7-day and a back-to-back on Virgin. Like, it's just something about that line that just does it for me. And because of that, we didn't even do an all-inclusive last year. And usually I have to do at least one or two.
Yeah.
We replaced them and did Virgin last year.
Yeah,
so that was the one. So
from that,
Virgin.
And then we started seeing the value, like, you go all inclusive, you pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to get there, and that's just one destination. After it's over, that's it. But with cruising, you pay $3,000, $4,000, you might visit 2, 3, 4 hours.
Right.
When she at first became an agent, and I was in her office, and I can't remember what trip it was, but it was
Aruba.
It was 4 different destinations. Aruba was one of them, and I know it's expensive to go to Aruba. And the price of the cruise, I think, was like $3,000. And I was like, wait a minute, what the heck are we doing? Like, we pay $3,000 and get to go to 4 countries, including Aruba. Like if we try to get all 4 of those in 1 year, we would probably pay upwards of $10,000 to $20,000. But pay $3,000 or $4,000 and go on a cruise and get to hit all 4.
Yeah.
That's the part that really hooks me about cruising, because we want to see the world.
Right.
It's gonna take forever to see the world going to one destination at a time.
Yeah. You mentioned Aruba. That was probably my last great land trip. We went to Aruba for our honeymoon.
Oh,
Okay.
But that was a long time ago. We finally are getting to go back to Aruba. It's a stop on a cruise. So we get to see Aruba, and then what's the ABC island? Aruba, Bonaire,
Bonaire,
and Curacao.
and
Yeah. So
Parasol, yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
So is it safe to say, or maybe you don't want to say this, being a travel advisor, Lynette, is it safe to say Virgin is your favorite line, or you don't want
It
to
is.
pick out a favorite line?
Oh, no, it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
That's
I thought you might say Carnival, but
no.
Carnival will be number 2.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the future. There's some great ships are coming out in 24 and 25. Are any of them that you're anxious to try?
Well, I was interested until I saw the pricing of Icon of the Seas. And then
you sound like me.
and then this miraculous opportunity came where we're going on Icon of the Seas. We leave on Friday.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm excited about it. And the crazy thing about it is when we were on our top 100 cruise for Virgin Voyages, the Icon of the Seas was making its entrance into the port of Miami for the very first time.
It was amazing.
So we were able to capture that. We went live on YouTube and Instagram and just showed everybody. And it got me so excited because until then, I'm like, it's nice, it's cool. I'm going to go on this vacation, da-da-da. Now I'm hyped.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Now I'm ready to see the Icon of the Seas because it is insane to see something of that magnitude.
And all that they able to put on to one ship. That's
So, and then of course, after that, the Star is coming out as well, which is basically the same thing. But other than that, I don't know of anything else that I'm really interested in.
We had talked. I knew Jubilee didn't come out in 2000
last year.
It came out last year, but we was looking at that. But it's keep going to the same itinerary, so it's the same itinerary that the Carnival Celebration go on.
Yeah, and we've been on.
So we waiting for that to switch because we want to definitely try that.
Yeah, because we want to go to Texas and be able to connect with some of our people out there because we have a really good supporter base out there in Texas, and we know that if we say we're going to go on a cruise out there, it's going to be insane.
So other than Icon, do you have anything booked?
We do. We have a group cruise on Carnival Celebration coming this May.
Yep.
It kind of fell on Mother's Day when I started planning it. I didn't realize it, and then I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a cute little Mother's Day cruise." So we have that booked. We have our Grown and Sexy group cruise that we do annually, but that's sold out. And then we are doing, what are we doing at the end of the year? We have Greece as far as a group cruise.
That's 2025.
For 2025.
Yeah.
So we're going to do Europe, and that's going to be fun.
Now, I'm going to Greece in 2025. What ship is that?
So we're doing Resilient Lady with Virgin Voyages.
Oh, okay. Okay. So say something about your Grown and Sexy. That sounds interesting.
So we were sitting there one day trying to figure out a catchy name to describe a group like ourselves, adults only, fun-loving, but you all about your business. Like, we're coming out for a good time, but not for a long time. And he came up with Grown and Sexy. And I was like, ooh, that's a little, you pushing the church people's limits. Like, are the church people going to wear a shirt that says Grown and Sexy? He said, maybe those are the ones I want to keep away. So we just named it that to bring in the right people. So you got to be fun loving. It doesn't matter your age. And when I say we were in the 20s all the way up to the 70s within our group, we had a couple of people that had motorized scooters that was like, I'm having the best time of my life. And it's just a way to bring people together, to have a good time. where the atmosphere is supercharged, the food is great, the itineraries is good, the ship is beautiful.
Had people getting their
what
first
ship?
tattoos. That was Scarlet.
That was Scarlet. Yeah, we had people that got their first
tattoo on the cruise.
Nose piercings.
The first nose piercing.
I said, don't tell people that I influenced that.
So that was Scarlet in 23.
23, yes.
Yeah, 23.
So do you have one in 24?
I do.
Yep.
I do. That's the one that's coming up in July.
And what ship is that?
That's Valiant.
Valiant.
We're doing Valiant this time.
Valiant. Okay. Yeah. And you said that's sold out.
It is. It's sold out.
Okay.
We thought about maybe opening it up for a few more people because we still have so many people begging us that they want to go.
Yeah. No, the ship is not sold out, but I try to keep my
capacity.
Your group is sold out.
Yeah, I try to keep them intimate because I like that intimate vibe that we have. I love because we understand that most people come on the cruises because they want to interact with us. They want to experience us. And I feel like if it gets too big, then the intimacy and the personalization of it may get lost with it just being too many people.
Well, I don't know. With your episode airing in the next week or two, you might get some phone calls.
Yeah, I bet.
I appreciate it.
See my inbox now, like, come on, Lynette, can you let us in? Like,
yeah. But we've been talking about too is like, are we, because we have that mentality, are we shooting ourselves in the foot because we are denying people of such a great experience because we know it ain't about us. It's about the experience on the cruise and then, the activities that we do. So it's not about us. So it's like you limiting, what could be, trying to keep it small. So we've been having that conversation too.
We have.
Well, listeners, Stanley and Lynette are having a conversation. So if you're interested, just bug them. It might happen.
See, it might work.
No, he done laid it on thick.
So what's on your cruise bucket list? Well, I should say cruise and travel bucket list, since you still do, some land cruising.
Indeed.
So I'm like you, Dubai.
Yep.
And what we're thinking about doing is when we do Greece 2025, we're thinking about flying directly from Athens and going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Before we come back to the States. Hey, let this expensive flight count.
Right.
Right.
We're thinking about doing that. I'm also I am so head over heels about Bora Bora.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to check that off the list.
Indeed.
And we do want to do an Alaskan cruise together.
Yeah.
So we don't know when that's going to happen though.
I can give you my 2 cents on that.
Right.
Is it good or bad?
We went. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's unbelievably good. We went to, now this was a dream cruise. We went from Hawaii to Alaska. So we checked 2 destinations off the bucket list.
I like that.
But Hawaii was nice. Liked Hawaii. But Alaska, we're going back to Alaska.
Okay.
There is nothing like a cruise. So some people tell me a cruise to Norway is can compete with Alaska, and we had that booked for next year. But Alaska was wonderful, and we're not into snow and cold weather and all of that, but. It's nice. It's nice.
Okay. And that makes me feel better because I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and freeze. But I love whales, so I definitely want to see that.
We got to see whales without. I mean, there were a lot of people who paid for these whale watching tours and all of that. So we didn't see them, up close like that. But we got to see a lot of whales without going on a whale excursion.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And as far as cold, now we went in May. The Hawaii part was in April, and then by the time we got to Alaska, it was May, and we overpacked. We bought thermal underwear. These heavy duty gloves where if it's like below zero, you're not feeling a thing.
And
and my daughter even sent me some hand warmers.
Okay, that would be me.
Didn't use any of that stuff.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, there was one port we were at. I think it was called Ketchikan, and it was like in the high 60s. I mean, I saw people, not us, but I saw people walking around with a short sleeve shirt on.
Wow.
But yeah, it can be pretty bad because I know Alaska has way more rainfall than anywhere else in the States. It never rained the time we were there. So I guess we just got lucky.
Okay.
But, it was never real cold.
Wow. I'm just amazed at saying it was 60 degrees in Alaska.
Look at that.
Yeah. Huh.
So you done with your bucket list? Got anything else?
Maldives.
Oh yeah.
Maldives. So we have one.
Now do they have all inclusives there?
I'm not completely sure.
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen some photos.
Yeah.
I've seen some photos of amazing looking resorts.
Yes.
In Maldives.
Yes.
So what are you working on at Life With Us TV? Anything? Well, you got your group cruise coming up, but that's sold out, or at least for now. Anything else you got going on?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. So, as I mentioned before, when you asked me about what I was doing during the pandemic, and I said I really dove head deep into learning YouTube. So one of the things that we started that's new, started last year, but continue this year, is teaching other people how to be travel agents and teaching other people how to use YouTube to, sell cruises, resorts, or whatever. So that's something new that we're working on, so we can kind of pay it forward.
Right.
For individuals that really want to, learn this business and transition from whatever they're doing now into this. So that's something new that we're doing.
Right.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that our channel is formulated is fairly new to us. Because like I said, we came from a lifestyle channel base.
Right.
And we just noticed that our videos, whenever we went traveling, were the ones that just got insane numbers, insane engagement. And then we started getting questions of how you do this and what's that. And, for someone like me that's a researcher and have always did things, I thought that it was basic knowledge or easy for people to do what it is that I learned how to do.
Right.
So that's where we got into teaching on our channel. So that's what's new. What we have going on Life With Us TV is we teach people how to travel so that they will not have a first-timers experience
like we
had.
Yeah.
And that has become like my passion, just to make sure that you have the best case set up to win at this thing, where you don't have to go into it making the mistakes that we did. You can go into it saying either it's for you or it's not, but not that it wouldn't be for you because you messed up, you weren't prepared.
Right.
How can listeners follow you on social media and the internet?
Life With Us TV is our tag. If you put that in, you'll find us. And here lately, if you just type in Stanley and Lynette, we pop up. On Instagram, we are Life With Us TV 1 because somebody took it. They took Life With Us TV. So we are the number 1 behind it. And that's where you can find us.
And then on our website, www.codefundtravel.com.
All right. So before we let you go, we're gonna shift gears a little bit and ask a few light or even fun questions. The first one is kind of an easy one. I always ask this to get some ideas, and I've gotten loads of ideas from people like yourself. So what's your favorite cruise drink and cruise food?
All right, for me, I'm usually a basic, just give me a margarita, I'm fine. But on Virgin Voyages, they have this fruity drink that's layered, and it's called a Golden Horizon.
Oh wait. Let me write this down.
Write that down.
I don't have to write it down. You're on.
Right.
Oh yeah, true.
You can
yeah.
just hit rewind. Golden Horizon is at the back at the dock house.
The dock house.
Yes.
So what's in it?
It has tequila. It has like an agave syrup, pineapple something. It's green, so I'm thinking it's blue caracal that's in it, or blue carousel, how they say it. And I think it has some Sprite in it too, but it is delicious. And then it has mint leaves in it as well.
Uh-huh. Now, did y'all drink that drink that has what is it?
The crickets?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nah, we ain't tried that one yet.
I'm not trying to have a lick between my teeth.
We ain't tried that one yet.
I tell you, I am I'm working on, the Joy of Cruising podcast turns 1 year old in a week or two.
Oh,
so I'm working on a birthday show where, various people answered, what's their favorite drink or what's their most embarrassing moment. And I do have one clip on there about somebody who drank, I keep wanting to say cockroaches. Crickets. I know no one's, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, I know no one's drinking a drink with a cockroach in it, but never say never, because I've had one person who has eaten scorpions on a stick.
Oh.
And another person that has eaten monkey brains. So,
they can have that.
So never say never. But I was just wondering if y'all had that drink with the crickets.
No, on our last group cruise, they definitely tried to make us do it.
Yeah, they was going in on them.
They did it. Like
they did them.
Our group members, they were in there tearing those drinks
them up.
But not you.
Not me.
No.
They like this side bet with each other that if they lost, I had to do it. I said, "Whoa!"
Like, how did I
keep me out of it?
Yeah, how did I get into this?
So what's your drink, Stanley?
My
same one.
Not that one. That's hers. So on Virgin, my favorite drink is from the On the Rocks bar called the Smooth Sailor. Now I don't know all that they put into it, but it's a Hennessy based drink. And it's so good.
Well, I'll be trying each of those.
Okay.
Yeah, try those out. Let's and then this one ain't your favorite, but since you're gonna be going to the On the Rocks bar, so the Smooth Sailor
the
and
entertainer,
and you can get the entertainer. That one is really good.
It's really good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. What about food?
Food, that's right. Yeah.
Mine is the ribeye steak from Pink Agave. Hands down, I have to have it every sailing. And that's on Virgin.
That steak, that Pink Agave. By far.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your most memorable or outlandish or even most embarrassing cruise or port experience?
I can tell you mine. So Bimini is my favorite, like, chill island. I'm one of those people that within my cruising, I like to have like a day that is just a beach day. Bimini is that place for me. I just zone out. So we went and the water was a little rough out there in the beach. And when I say the water is like crystal clear, like you can see as far as wherever. So this day I was like, oh, it's a little murky because the waves are, hitting and whatever. But I'm determined to get my tail into that beach water. So because the water was so rough, I guess they had created like these dips when you get into the water. So what is usually just a regular little decline there was an entire drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Not deep, but surprising drop off. Now, couple that with the fact that I'm kind of clumsy anyway. I went down.
And you had a drink in your hand.
I had a drink in my hand. I tried to recover quickly, and then a wave came And needless to say, you know how when you're like in Walmart or wherever and they have the chickens that's spinning in the rotisserie oven?
Yep.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was being spent around and around and around in the ocean because I literally could not find a way to get myself up. So then when I get up, of course, there's like 4 or 5 YouTube fam members that are like, hey,
laughing their tail off.
teach you, and I'm like, this is not the way. You get to meet me.
Now, Lynette, can you swim?
Enough not to drown.
Okay. Well, at least you had that going for you.
Right.
I wouldn't have had that much going for me.
Yeah, I have a good fight in me not to drown, but that right there, I was like, in my mind, I said, at some point the wave is going to let me go, or somebody's going to just drag me up.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious.
Now, Stanley, were you taking pictures?
Oh, I was laughing.
He was laughing.
I was laughing my tail off. Because the more I tried to help her, the more the waves kept having her rolling like this.
How supportive is that, right?
Well, he could have been taking a picture. So, because
I should have.
Sometimes when guests tell me what their most embarrassing moment is, I'll use that social media saying, photos or it didn't happen.
Because I'm the one that recorded it all. I have proof of all the Stanleys. He didn't get me though.
Well, speaking of which, Stanley, what's your most memorable or outlandish or embarrassing cruise experience? And you don't have to be spinning around like a rotisserie.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. I'll let you be the judge if we think it's worse.
I think yours is worse than mine.
So, on Carnival, they have the glow parties. So we were at the glow parties on Carnival.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Around your neck and all that. We were at the glow party. And so at the time, Ryan Rose was the cruise director on the Magic. So we had the Rock and Glow party, and we over, usually close to where Guy's Burger is, over close to the tables. So we was over there conversating with me and Lynette, our friends. And all of a sudden, I heard somebody say, "Hey, you, Beard, get over here." And I'm like, I got beards. So I'm like, are they talking to me? And I'm like, and I turn around, it's the cruise director like, "You, yeah, I'm talking to you." And I was like, "Who, me? You, come out here. We ain't got time for this." So I was pulled into a dance contest that I didn't sign up for. And mind you, I consider I am not a dancer. I will dance, but I don't consider myself a dancer. So it was me and 3 other guys. So we up there like, I don't know how in the world we got pulled into this, but we got pulled into it. Now, the embarrassing part was you didn't just dance in one place. You had to dance down the line with a whole bunch of people. So you had to start here. Dance all the way, and you had to match the song that was playing.
Now, did you know any of the other guys that he pulled in?
They know not. And the part that had got me was after we danced, the crowd had to judge. You know how they do on Apollo and be like, "Is this one?"
Yeah.
So and stuff like that. So the guy that had went before me, they had did like this, and ain't nobody say nothing. They ain't say nothing. And I was like, oh, hell. Here go my turn. Here you go. I'll make it even more embarrassing. They put their hands over to me. And I was shocked at the response.
The crowd went crazy.
Yeah, I was shocked.
It did help that we had a great following on that ship from YouTube.
And then also what helped too was I had a few drinks in me too. So that kind of brought it down a little bit. But I was like, Ryan. I saw him the next day. I was like, why you do me like that? He said, I had to do you like that.
So, any photos?
Yep, we got the video.
Got a whole video.
We got the video. Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious.
Feel free to press that send button to me. I'm going to be promoting your episode heavily, so.
Oh, we definitely have it.
Yep.
Finally, you have a huge following. So let me say welcome to the Stanley and Lynette fans and friends listening. We hope you have enjoyed what you have heard and will come back to the Joy of Cruising podcast to check out some other episodes. So let's have some fun. Stanley and Lynette, share one thing for each of you. Share one thing that my listeners and your huge following doesn't know about Stanley and Lynette.
I think two things are interesting that I don't think a lot of people have caught on, because we have been those corporate America people that have been on YouTube for so long that they don't realize that now we kind of do this full time.
We do it
full time.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to even say it that,
Yes.
content creation, being a travel agent and traveling is our life now. And we were flourishing at it. God is good. And then another thing that's a little thing about me is, if you want to see me squeal, you want to see me get out of your way, you want to see me clear a room, tell me a bird is around.
A bird?
A bird.
A bird.
I am terrified of birds.
Terrified.
When I tell you I will clear a room, I don't go into Lowe's that often because there are always birds in the ceiling. Oh, baby, I need some kind of hypnotherapy or something, because I do have to get rid of that fear of birds. It's bad.
Well, we who knows? We may cruise with y'all one day. I mean, you do group cruises and all that. I will try to refrain from saying, Lynette, look at that bird.
Oh, we were at Mr. Sancho's when we did the Melanin at Sea group. And of course, at Mr. Sancho's, they always bring a monkey and a parrot.
Yeah.
And I spotted them like I have tunnel vision. I can spot a bird a mile away. I saw him walking along the beach, and I said, I don't know what this is, but I know he's going to make a beeline.
Come over.
Stanley turns around and he said, if you don't want my wife to clear this entire beach, I'm going to need you to go. And say, I'm going to need you to go. And he kept looking like, you want bird? Stanley said, no bird. No bird.
Oh, Lord.
So Stanley, you have anything to add? Something someone doesn't know about you?
Most
people don't know about you.
I would say I was thinking us being full time, because a lot of people be asking us, do you work? How you get so much PTO days? So they see us traveling so much. So it's Well,
I thought that was an inspiring story that you told that happened mostly around the pandemic shutdown and how you all transitioned into this. If one listener was inspired to make a change, that's great, because I think it's a wonderful transition and a wonderful story that you told.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stanley Lynette, it is so good to meet you virtually.
Thank you. Likewise. So nice to meet you too.
Thank you for coming on the Joy of Cruising podcast. I consider you, LifeWithUsTv, as a leader in the cruise community, and you will be sailing great cruises. So I can assure you, we plan to have you back if you will be back.
Oh, absolutely. Just say the word. We're here.
We'll be back.
All righty. Well, all the best with LifeWithUsTv. And as they say, I'll see you on the ocean.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Peace.
The Joy of Cruising and Cruising Interrupted, each $16.99 plus shipping, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again, for $18.99, can be ordered at the link on thejoyofcruisingpodcast.com. For each of the 3 books, use the discount code Joy of Cruising Podcast and get $4 off. The Joy of Cruising books are also available at Amazon. Order the ebook at Amazon or your favorite online retailer. Stay in touch by joining the Joy of Cruising Podcast Facebook group or following the Joy of Cruising Podcast on Instagram. We're constantly adding new shows. Please leave a review and tell a friend about us. We hope you enjoyed this brief escape to the ocean. See you next week.